Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Sean Krikuski. I'm the CEO and founder of Nanalysis Scientific Corp. We make portable NMR and MRI machines for industrial and healthcare applications. We do seek safe harbor for forward-looking statements. Where we're trading at today, we have a market cap of about 100 million. We are a revenue generating company, so we've stated publicly that we did approximately 16 million in revenue in 2021. We've also stated publicly that our revenue target for 2022 is 35 million or more. So not one of these tech companies that's sort of burning boatloads of cash. We are EBITDA positive. We have plenty of cash on our balance sheet, and we have some exciting milestones in the next year and beyond. So I founded the business about 12 years ago, and it's just been a fabulous journey. I'll talk a little bit more about that as we get through this. We have a fabulous management team, including an incredibly talented and experienced CFO, and our CTO, Julien Muller, has a real unique vision for the future of magnetic resonance. So our vision is to one day disrupt the MRI space and make it work the way it should work. And in our opinion, the way it should work is anyone here should be able to call up their local pharmacy, make an appointment to get an MRI of their pelvis area and screen for prostate cancer or ovarian cancer. Go down to the pharmacy, sit in a nice chair, have an MRI done. It should be connected to the cloud, driven by AI, access through a trusted service like WebMD, and then you should get a pleasant message saying nothing wrong with your prostate, nothing wrong with your ovaries, no need to consult your doctor at this time. Please consider doing this again a year from now, right? Or if you're playing football on a Friday night in East Texas and you get your bell rung, regardless of what kind of high school you go to, you should just be able to go into the sporting facility, have an MRI of your brain, and determine conclusively if you had a concussion or not. So that's where we're going. That's kind of our grand vision. We're not there today, but we do have proven products in the marketplace, and I'll talk about how they're related to that vision. We've demonstrated explosive revenue growth, and we have an impressive suite of intellectual property. So this is just a slide so we can all get kind of calibrated on what magnetic resonance is. And you know, there's part of this story that I think everybody gets sort of intuitively, but then there's a twist. And it's the twist that makes us unique in the world. So I've depicted here a typical MRI machine that you'd see in any hospital. It's a very large machine that uses superconducting magnets that require liquid helium and liquid nitrogen to keep those magnets cool. It's very complicated to use. It's run by a gatekeeper. It's not portable in any sense of the word portable. You know, once it's sited in its location with reinforced floors, it's not going anywhere forever. So the twist is that these machines are also used for industrial analysis. So not just for human medical imaging and imaging human tissue, but also to image new drugs being developed or analyze advanced materials, petrochemicals, foodstuffs. And I've depicted what those look like when they're used for industrial analysis here. It's the same technology, it's the same superconducting technology requiring liquid helium and liquid nitrogen fills. It's very large, complicated to use, not portable in any sense. You know, I've depicted scaffolding here, and those gentlemen are putting the substance to be analyzed in a standard test tube and putting it into the cylindrical magnet, similar cylindrical magnet as you put a human being in. So what we've done as a company is we've miniaturized that technology. We're selling real products in the marketplace today to big pharma, food, petrochemical, advanced materials, and so on. So, and then more broadly than just miniaturizing it, we're also democratizing it, and that means several things, but making it more readily available in places that you wouldn't think you could use a magnetic resonance analyzer or magnetic resonance imager. So that's what our company does. This is our product portfolio. I just want to emphasize what our business model is today and then where we're going. So these are the products we sell into the marketplace today. The products on the top left are the full-blown miniaturized systems. So in other words, the miniaturized magnets, the electronics, and the software. Those products are sold to pharma companies, food companies, a lot of universities, petrochemical companies, and the sample is inserted at the top here in a standard 7-inch, 5 mm diameter test tube. And it's the gold standard in terms of analyzing materials, right? There are other types of ways of analyzing materials, but over the last 20 years, this has established itself as the gold standard. It's non-destructive. It's the most information-rich. And the only reason why the adoption has been hindered is because the machines have been very large and expensive and complicated to use and so on. So these are organic flagship products that generate most of our revenue today, but we're also going up market and being able to analyze human blood and urine and complicated proteins. The product on the top right is in fact a medical imaging product, but as you can probably tell from the figure, it's not the full-blown system. It's just the electronics and the low-level software that's sold to, for example, companies like Tier 2 preclinical MRI companies. And these companies use it as their smarter sort of control engine than what they have available to them already. It's the same electronics and low-level software that's in all of our products that we sell. So we're building a common technology platform for magnetic resonance for industrial analysis and magnetic resonance for human medical imaging. We don't have an FDA approved product yet for human medical imaging, but that's part of the story. We have a specific plan to get there. In addition to the hardware capital equipment sales, which is our main revenue model today, and we're at about 63% gross margins, we think we can push those higher. Software is becoming an important part of our revenue stream, and in the future, software as a service, where you do the basic processing on the machine, but then you go off onto the cloud to do more complicated processing. Also, service-oriented and preventative maintenance recurring revenue is a big part of our story going forward as well. So you'll see announcements about that in the future in terms of fairly large service-oriented revenue. So as I mentioned, I founded the company roughly 12 years. It's just been a fabulous journey. We built everything from scratch, so all the technology is proprietary, developed in-house. Early on, I hired some pretty smart people from Caltech and MIT to do the IP strategy, the tech platform, and the products. And then as we scaled our business into manufacturing, direct sales, distributor sales, marketing, HR, the whole ball of wax, we just layered on really talented people into our company over the years. We've had several opportunities to exit. Most recently, a large NASDAQ-listed company tried to buy us. It was a company that is an incumbent in our space, tried to develop a competing product, but failed. And we decided we weren't for sale, and so our shareholders said to me, Sean, we want you to build a perpetually independent, world-class company. So about 2 years ago, we went public on the Toronto Stock Exchange in Canada, and we have an OTCQX listing here in the States. We also trade in Frankfurt, raised a lot of money in the last couple of years, done several complementary acquisitions. It's not a roll-up of similar companies, but an acquisition of strategic companies that bolted together help us grow faster than we could otherwise organically. We've accomplished some incredible milestones very recently, and we have an exciting short-term and medium-term set of catalysts for our business. As I stated before, we're demonstrating explosive revenue growth. We think we can do $35 million in revenue this year. Again, positive EBITDA. We think we can double that again in 2023 to get to about $70 million. So that's the kind of growth trajectory that we're on. All the technology is proprietary, developed in-house, and patent protected. We have an exciting patent pipeline as well. We have about 65 R&D engineers and scientists today in our company that develop a massive amount of intellectual property every single day in the form of firmware, software, and hardware. And then just as importantly is proprietary manufacturing processes. So we're a full-blown operating company. And even before we had a commercially viable product, we decided that we wanted to protect our IP with proprietary manufacturing. So we invested in that heavily early on, and today it's borne fruit for our company in the form of higher gross margins, but also if you took apart our product in China, you had 10 PhDs working for you that were smart enough to understand our patents, you still wouldn't be able to reverse engineer the technology successfully unless you knew exactly what we were doing in our proprietary manufacturing facility, which is, by the way, in Calgary, Canada, where our business was founded and where the main part of our operations are today. our customers are in the United States and Germany and Japan and places like that, but our headquarters is in Calgary, Canada. Our growth strategy can be encapsulated by, first of all, we'll always be an innovation company, improving our products, developing our new products. On a percentage basis, our R&D spend is going down, but on an absolute basis, our R&D budget will always go up. We'll combine that with industry partnerships. Some of these we publicly announced, where we basically white label or ingredient brand our products to a company that wants to add a little bit of value, like in the form of software, and then go deep in a particular vertical that they're already in. So that's an important part of our growth strategy. And then we will do some more acquisitions. I've told our key institutional investors there are no more acquisitions for 2022, and that's true. We're focused on operational excellence, but we will resume acquisitions in approximately mid-2023. And then an important part of our growth strategy is how we communicate with the financial community. And in that regard, what you're going to see is you're going to see us evolve our language from magnetic resonance for industrial analysis to magnetic resonance for human medical imaging, because that's where the investment community sort of connects with the most. And in particular, we're working with partners right now to develop an FDA-approved human medical imaging product. I can't tell you exactly what it's going to be yet, but I've kind of given you a glimpse of the nature of it. So first of all, it'll be application specific. By that, what I mean is for only one body part, like only for the brain or only for an extremity or only for the pelvis. And it'll be prevention centric, part of the next generation sort of personalized prevention centric a part of our healthcare system, and MRI is going to play a big part of that revolution. So you'll see us evolve our story in that regard. We're the only company in the world today that is leveraging the commonalities between the math and physics of magnetic resonance for industrial analysis and magnetic resonance for human medical imaging. And we have real medical imaging revenue and real medical imaging projects right now, even though it's not the bulk of our business, but it will be going forward. This is just a slide to highlight one of the democratization aspects of magnetic resonance. So if you've got a PhD in chemistry or you're a radiologist, you can understand the data on the left and indeed take actions on it. But our customers are telling us that in the future, it's not going to be the experts that are using our machines, and the data is going to be simplified. So red light, green light, yes, no type of analysis. Some of the basic apps for this type of application of magnetic resonance, I call it, we're developing our in-house, and then for more complicated ones, we work with partners. We're an exciting market opportunity. Over $75 billion per year is spent on scientific instrumentation. Some people use the term test and measurement equipment. It's a very exciting place to be in. When I founded this company, I never thought we'd get to the point where a typical layperson knows what a PCR test is and what companies like Thermo Fisher Scientific are, but lo and behold, we're actually in that space. So it's kind of an exciting space to be in right now. The addressable part of this $75 billion pie for us today is about $3 billion, and we think with ongoing miniaturization and democratization, we can grow the addressable part of this opportunity for our company within this larger space. Everything in the modern world is tested and measured. You can't innovate new products without test and measurement equipment. You can't deal with health and safety issues without test and measurement equipment. You can't do quality control. You can't do economically efficient manufacturing of your innovation without test and measurement equipment. So great place to be in. In terms of the customers we sell to today, we sell to the biggest companies in the world like Pfizer, Eli Lilly, Johnson & Johnson, BASF, but we also sell to tiny little two-person biotech startups. We sell to the most famous universities in the world like MIT and Harvard, but we'll also sell to small rural community colleges in Mississippi or rural India. And by the way, in those types of markets, there are no liquid helium trucks driving around to keep superconducting magnets cool. So the cryogen-free aspect of our technology platform is a really important growth driver for us. And then we sell to government labs all over the world as well. We have a senior independent board of directors. A couple of examples, Werner Gartner is a former CFO of a large NASDAQ-listed company called Novotel GPS. He's the chairman of our audit committee. Dr. Renee Lengenhager is a recent addition to our board of directors. He's the former president of one of the incumbent companies that tried to buy us, in the past, and in fact he was with them when they tried to buy our company. With a little bit of research you can figure out who that incumbent company is. So very proud to have a global leader in our space now as an investor in our company and on our board of directors. So just a fabulous not only board but management team as well. And really that's the end of my presentation, other than to emphasize that we have a fabulously talented team of people that are shareholders in our company, very well educated, very well motivated to make us a tremendous success. We're at approximately 165 people today globally. As I mentioned, our main office is in Calgary, Canada, but we also have a significant presence in Phoenix in the United States, which is our most important market for our customers. And then we have European offices in Strasbourg and in Zurich as well. And we're building out a full-blown operating company with direct sales and service in every major market in the world. So thank you very much for taking the time to listen to my presentation. With that, I'd be happy to answer any questions or entertain any comments you might have. Yes, sir.
Where do you stand in the development of databases containing information that is the results of tests using your equipment?
Thank you very much. Yeah, so the question is with regards to not just the hardware and the technology that is in the machine, but where are we with regards to databases on the cloud that are used for things like food authentication and so on. And that is an important part of our future. That's the way the world is going, as we've all seen with cloud computing, and with partners, that's going to be an important part of our software as a service. Recurring revenue going forward is with partners, you'll have databases of, for example, honey. There's a big problem in the world with adulteration of honey with things like cheap rice oil and so on. So cosmetics, a big problem today with putting dangerous things in cosmetics that have been manufactured offshore. And so all these things require databases on the cloud to work in conjunction with our hardware products, and that's a very important part of our business going forward. Any other questions? Okay, well, thank you very much. It was a pleasure. Hope you have a wonderful afternoon.